I'll bet you don't know anyone who doesn't like crystals. I know I sure don't. Why is that? What is it about these stones that fascinates us so deeply? I think it all boils down to one thing: energy. Welcome. My name is John Ferris, owner and creator at John Ferris Visionary Arts. I create stunning, soul amplifying technology with crystals, gold, and silver fine wire. Yes, I call my creations technology, not just jewelry, and we'll get into that in a bit. Let this be a sacred remembering, not just a presentation. My backstory on how crystals and crystal jewelry changed my life path will have to flash back to 2000 when I moved to Northern California, Humboldt. I was on a sole mission to grow medical marijuana. That was what I needed to do back in 2000. So I moved there, learned how to cultivate, and had an amazing, heart-opening life of 8 years, making more money than I'd ever made before. And in 2008, everything changed for me. I became allergic to growing weed. I was devastated, but I knew that I needed to make a change. I mean, even a leaf on my arm would cause this big red rash, and I knew it was time to make a change. So I started asking Spirit, hey, can you give me some guidance on a new path in my life? And 2 painful years went by. I mean, fall was a nightmare for me, harvesting with a full respirator, trimming with a full respirator. And I was so done with that. And flash forward to 2010, there was this random day, I went into a friend's shop and I saw this most beautiful amulet I'd ever seen. It had tourmalines and sweeping swirls of silver on it. Laid down the cash for it, came home, and I was just mesmerized by this piece that I bought. I about slept with the thing. I mean, I was in love with it. And the next day, the woman was a friend of mine. She called me up from her shop, and she's like, Ferris, you got to bring that back. That was my partner's. I wasn't supposed to sell that to you. And let me tell you, I was super devastated. That was the impetus for me. And I want this story to be kind of a takeaway for you as well. If you're out there and you're frustrated with your life and you need a new life path, this is how it happened for me, to just start asking Spirit for a new path. So that was the impetus for me to learn how to make one of these for myself. I looked at some guy's website, figured out a couple of moves that he was doing, went down to the bead shop, got my tools, got my wire, and it was off to the races for me. I was so passionate about this, like every day was Christmas to me. I didn't want to go to bed at night, and it was like, please don't make me sleepy. I want to keep going with this. So I'd get up in the morning, do my chores, and get back in my studio. Well, every day was like that for months. But after a month or so, I realized that I had this gift for making this jewelry. I had this inventory. People around town started buying my jewelry. Friends, people that didn't know me, I took it everywhere I went, and people were amazed by it. I realized I had a gift for it, right? And so I was like, I'll put a website together. And I had one of my dear friends, Ed Truthen, build me a website. He was a web designer, built me this beautiful site. My first site was Nameless Light Creations. I still love that site. It was beautiful. And so at that point, I was like, okay, well, I'll start sending out emails to galleries around the country. I sent them out to New York. I sent them out to Aspen, Colorado, San Francisco, LA, and nobody was picking me up. Frustrated by that, I had a friend come over and say, Ferris, you are making crystal jewelry. Find a spiritual town to sell your jewelry in. And I was like, oh my God, that's a great idea. I had been to Sedona, about 30 years ago, helping a friend move from Virginia Beach. That's where I came from when I grew up. I helped her move out here, loved this place, and I remembered that place. So I started sending out emails to galleries around Sedona. And I got picked up. And I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. I sent my jewelry out there. And then I had this great idea. I am going to go out there for a trunk show and show my work at this gallery. And here's the thing, this is how passionate and driven I was to make this journey. Like, I was having a little bit of financial problems at that time, and I only had enough money to get there one way. Like, that's how much I was like, I am going to Sedona and doing this trunk show. But I did have a quarter-pound of weed with me. So I took that with me. And within 30 minutes of arriving and meeting the gallery owners were actually smokers, so they bought the weed from me. So I didn't have to worry about getting home or anything like that. And I'm telling you this because I trusted. This was part of this whole lesson of me in my story and how I got to this part in my life. I trusted that intuition to get there and do that and know I was going to be safe. So that's a little takeaway with that. I was done with Humboldt at that time, although I still had a house there, and I was like, what am I going to do with my house? And this is another miracle that helped me alter the path of my life, where my friends were like, dude, you have this amazing grow room in your backyard. We want to rent your house. Here's your mortgage in cash, $25,000 to move to Sedona and start your path. So I'm now living in Sedona, and this is my home. All right, so let's talk about crystalline technology and alchemy. Crystals are the oldest living beings on the planet. Some of them are over 5 million years old, and they were born in Mother Gaia, deep within her womb. A crystal's crystalline structure is an incredible storage medium. Its molecules form a precise lattice that absorbs, amplifies, stores, and transmits energy. It's exactly how quartz is used in computers, watches, radios, all medical devices. Pretty much all the technology we have happens through that. And it's through a property called piezoelectricity, which converts one form of energy into another. So when we speak or focus an intention into a crystal, you're actually imprinting a frequency pattern into its stable lattice, like writing into a vibrational hard drive. How cool is that? Each thought, prayer, or feeling carries its own vibrational signature. Clear stones like quartz, selenite, or labradorite can tune and hold that resonance. It's like striking a tuning fork. Your intention is the sound, and the crystal is the chamber that keeps vibrating with that tone. When you wear or hold it, it reminds your body, your aura, and your subconscious to stay tuned to that same frequency. A charged crystal in the quantum field resonates with your desire and helps collapse possibility into form. Even psychologically, programming a crystal builds mindful focus and emotional charge, the two main ingredients for manifestation. We need that emotional charge. We need that duration of focus that actually brings that possibility into form. Now, let's talk about crystal alchemy and how it shows up in my sacred jewelry. Crystal alchemy is the fusion of my intuitive artistry, energetic intention, and sacred materials to create transformational tools. Unlike mass-produced jewelry, each amulet I make is a living transmission encoded with purpose, resonance, and spiritual intelligence. The act of creation is ceremonial to me, not commercial. Each piece is born through inner listening, guided by energy, definitely not trends. I use both gold and silver because the gold feels more masculine, solar, radiant, and the silver feels more feminine, lunar, and reflective. Together, they bring the amulet into balance. This is one of my crystals here, and as I was explaining, the silver feels more feminine and the gold feels more masculine. So I like using these together, both metals, because I feel it balances out the crystal that I'm using, the energy of the crystal. The coils and the weaves, act as amplifiers for the crystal. And I'm telling you, each one of these has a different feeling to them, a different frequency. As we have learned, crystals hold vibrational signatures that harmonize, activate the subtle body. When worn close to the skin, sacred jewelry acts like a tuning fork for the entire energy system. The fine golden wires, like I was saying, act as the amplifiers, aligning you with your inner clarity and coherence. These pieces become allies, reminders of who you truly are. Each amulet becomes a portal, anchoring your intentions in the physical realm and supporting breakthroughs, intuition, and energetic sovereignty. You're not just wearing jewelry, you're aligning with a signature that supports your soul's unfolding. This is where science meets spirit, heart math, coherence, crystalline entrainment, and the quantum field, all through resonance. So I cannot tell you how many times I've been at shows over the many years I've been doing this where people will come up to my booth and they'll say like, wow, I've got these two glass cases and they're filled with both sides with my jewelry, and they're like, wow, this is so energetic over here. And my first thing I'll say to them is, okay, well, look around. Which one is really popping out at you energetically? And they'll say, let's say this one here. It's like, I really like this one. And I always invite them to hold it in their hand and hold it on their heart. And like I said, I cannot tell you how many people have come up to my booth, gone through that process, and either had a visceral emotional response and start crying. They'll be like, oh my God, takes them back for a second. Or they'll say, oh, wow, I really felt that in my heart. I felt this energy moving through my crown system. So when I say they're technology and much more than just jewelry, that's where I'm pointing with that. Some people can't feel the energy, right? So what I've done is I've taken the liberty to do some aura photos. And this is a before shot of me. That's not bad. You know, I've got some nice color up here. But when I put on an amulet, this is what happens. And I have probably about 5 different shots of different amulets. So they're all different, but it's a significant increase in how your aura looks. So they're really, really amplifying your frequency. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you're new to crystals, let me walk you through my process of programming crystals. I live in Sedona here, and there's more crystal shops than there are coffee shops. Humorously, all the coffee shops have crystals for sale in them too. So I have no shortage of where to buy crystals from. And when I'm buying crystals, I've learned that I look for the ones that seem brighter to me or the ones that stand out. Step 1, you need to clear the crystal when you bring it home. The crystals absorb ambient vibrations. So what I do is I bring it home, hold it under running water, and say clean and clear, clean and clear. Step 2 is to charge it. And what I do is place it in the sunlight or the moonlight for a more softer yin energy. Step 3, of course, is programming it. So I hold the crystal in my hands, I close my eyes, take a deep breath, and center myself. Speak your intention aloud, clearly and simply. Feel it in your body. Generate the emotion that matches your vision, and then seal it with your breath and trust the process. I clear and clean each crystal before I begin the creation process, and again when the amulet is complete. When I'm in my studio, I clear my energy first. Then it starts with simply staring at the crystal until I begin receiving information. The first coil, the next weave, and in the beginning, I would listen to the guidance. I'd start the process. Okay, put a weave here, put a coil here. And then I'd say to myself, oh, it doesn't look that great. This kind of looks funny. And I wouldn't know what to do. And then I would get this clear message, just trust. So I did, and the results amazed me. I could never design these pieces logically. They just come through guidance and trust. And I never really asked where that comes from. I just trust that, okay? I also love doing custom work. I have this ability to tune into somebody's field. I'll have this conversation with them before to really get what their intentions were when they wanted this piece done. The reason I do that is because when I'm in my studio, I can tune into the person's energy and remember their intentions and focus that while I'm doing the wires. So even when you receive your piece, a custom piece from me, and you want to reiterate the intentions and prayers, I've already done that with the wires because you've already told me that, and I've held that focus while I'm spinning out the wires or doing the weaves or whatever. It is definitely a custom piece for you, and I really feel like these pieces are talisman. Not everyone is attracted to my work. The ones that are stepping into the next level of their life. They are up-leveling themselves, and they're attracted to my work because they know they can feel the energy and know that it is actually going to help them anchor that manifestation of their next level. Remember, you are the true source. The amulet simply remembers with you. The real question is, what are you ready to activate and embody? These sacred adornments aren't just decoration, they're a declaration. When you wear an amulet created in reverence, you are saying yes to embodiment, power, and presence. They are living prayers you can wear. And now I want you to hear from my friend Debbie, whose space she has graciously allowed us to be in. This is Sacred Vortex Healing Center. She's a dear friend of mine, and she has a couple pieces. I'd love to hear what she has to say. Oh my gracious, Debbie. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. First of all, I just wanted to say thank you so much for allowing us to be here in the studio with you. This is your Sacred Vortex Healing Center. Like I said, you're a collector now. So I wanted to ask you, why my jewelry? What does it do for you? What do you feel from it?
Sure enough, I have three of your wonderful pieces, but mainly I'm wearing my favorite one, the reason I actually met you. I love quartz crystals, and being from Mexico, where in my country there are mines all over the place with really high quality crystals, I was able to recognize the quality of this quartz, and immediately I fell in love with it.
Nice.
And I'm a true believer that where intention goes, energy flows.
Right.
So I immediately felt like this crystal was meant to be for me.
Nice.
Plus, if you see at the entrance of this place, I have some dragons hidden all over. And when I saw the dragon, I'm like, okay, this has my name on it. Plus, when I looked into it with more detail, I saw the most amazing creation of the wiring that I've never seen before in my life.
Nice.
So the whole piece called me.
When you put it on, what's that experience for you? Does it shift you?
The first time I put it on, it was like feeling a wave of energy. It's hard to explain. You really have to have it on you to understand that. But it was kind of like a whoa, like,
Wow.
Oh my God, it was really, really powerful.
And tell everybody about your wonderful healing center here.
We specialize in sound healing modalities mainly. We offer sound baths, sound therapies. We work with frequencies at the front room with some technology we have. We do Reiki, access bars, so a lot of fun stuff. And of course, we also rent this little room for events, classes, workshops. And here you are.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
Beautiful. And you had something else to say. Was there something else?
Oh, well, I just wanted to tell people that they should really come and see the amazing pieces. As a matter of fact, I was at the parking lot earlier, and I ran into one of my neighbors, and the first thing before she said hello to me was like, what in the world is that? This is so beautiful.
Oh.
So I started chatting with her, and I said, well, you see, everybody gets drawn to this amazing energy. Because not only is the power of the crystal, but also is the beauty of your energy input into the work.
Oh, nice.
So that can be felt for some of us who are really in tune to these kind of energies.
Yeah.
And you have an amazing energy, and it's reflected in what you create.
Oh, beautiful. Thank
Definitely.
you. Well, it's a sweet reflection of you, my dear, right?
Okay, sure.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. And if you're wanting to reach out, you can find me at johnferrisvisionaryarts.com. Or if you're in Sedona, you're more than welcome to stop by my uptown studio. And I'm wishing you a day as amazing as you are.